All right. My name is Dustin Lee. I'm an attorney with Lee Law Firm in Bluffton, South Carolina. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about South Carolina records expungements. What I'm getting at here are expungements of state level offenses in South Carolina. So we're not talking about federal offenses that would have gone through federal court, but again, state level offenses that may have gone through what we call our general sessions court, our municipal courts, our magistrate court level uh, courts. So this can be anything from, again, simple possession of marijuana or, again, another type of charge all the way up the food chain. And again, this is a very broad general overview that you'll hopefully find helpful. So quick, uh, 30,000 feet above view of the world. Basically, not too long ago in the grand scheme of things, South Carolina expanded the types and amounts of charge is basically eligible for expungement. So some things you cannot get expunged still. This is not supposed to be a video on what you can and can't get expunged. That's way beyond the scope of this video, but there are a lot of things that you used to not be able to get expunged that now you can. Basically, you used to almost have like one type thing you could get expunged, kind of like, hey, you got one shot at this. If it fits, it fits. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. Now you have something that we can fit more things into different categories. So that's good news. So if maybe 10, 15 years ago you had an old offense and you think, or we're thinking, well, I talked to an attorney back then and I wasn't able to get expunged, you may be able to fit in a category now. That's not a guarantee, but you may be able to do so. So why would you want to get something on your record expunged? So let's take a step back. Okay, so you either pled guilty to something, no contest, you didn't show up for court if it was a smaller matter, it's been sitting on your criminal record, or again, you were represented by the best attorney money can buy, but for whatever reason, you have something sitting out there on your record. And it's number one, most people who come to me, and I do a lot of South Carolina records expungement work all across the state. So my office is in Bluffton, but I do a lot of this all over the state. Where you are located doesn't matter. I do this for out of state people. I've helped people who have moved out of the country. It doesn't matter whether you're in the upstate, the low country, the Myrtle Beach area, wherever you are, the Columbia area, it really doesn't matter. I do this type of stuff all the time. But why would you want to do it? Job opportunities, meaning you keep applying for jobs, and I don't care whether it is, uh, a grocery store, a retail chain, a law firm job, something on a military base or at a school, and you keep getting told, well, you've got the following quote unquote thing on your record, and because you've got it out there, we're not going to be able to hire you. Maybe they're not exactly telling you that, but you feel it may have an impact. So again, job opportunities can be major. It's really disappointing you have something from when you're 18, 19 years old, you're now 45 years old, and that's holding you back. Embarrassment. What I mean by that is some people, they don't really care that much when they're young. They have something on their record, but then they have kids and their kids start asking questions, or they're going to have grandkids, whatever it may be. I have a lot of people who actually come and say, I'm really embarrassed. I'm now about to actually retire, but I've been meaning to get this thing off my record because it's just something that's really bothering me. Or maybe they're trying to get on a board or something similar at their church or in a local community organization, and they just don't want people to know this thing was sitting out there. So they come to me and they say, hey, can you please help me with this? Okay, well, let's take a look. There's things like foreign travel. Sometimes convictions can impact your ability to travel to foreign countries, just as, again, this isn't supposed to be an immigration talk per se, but just as if you have certain things that are on your record, you might not be able to enter the United States. It works the other way around. There are certain countries, if you have convictions for certain offenses, they tell you they're not going to let you into their country, whether that is a discretionary thing at the border or if they just tell you big, bright, flashing lights sitting on their webpage before you even try to go to that country. So again, you may have vacation plans, bucket list, whatever it may be to go to a country, and you're going to run into problems. So try to get that cleaned up with that. Again, some of these countries you want to talk to maybe someone on the other side if it's a really big issue. Some may still ask you, did you have anything, even if it was expunged? And again, whether how you answer that, you might want to talk to someone else who does that type of work. And again, I'm just making up a country, Thailand, if you're trying to go there, or Germany, wherever it may be, Mexico, who knows if that country is asking, have you ever been arrested, even if this has been expunged, or have you ever been convicted or pled guilty, even if expunged. Again, that's a question you definitely want to talk to someone who does that type of area of law. I'm just talking about initially, if they run that check on you, what is going to pop up? Keeping your job or promotions. What I mean by that is there are a lot of people who come to me, especially down in my particular area. They work for like airplane manufacturers and the like, and they say, or around military base, we have a lot down where I'm physically located, and they say, I need to have this cleared up because I don't think I can get this promotion. It's going to be a big deal. I need to have this off my record. It hasn't come up really because no one's really run anything, but now I need a higher security clearance, or I need the following kind of taken care of, or it's going to be embarrassing, or I am trying to basically transfer. They're going to run a check on me, or I've got this other opportunity. I might need to act on it. Again, that goes back to job opportunities, but it's in a similar vein where, hey, I'm not just trying to get my first job or trying to get a different type of job. I'm really trying to move up the food chain. This might be a problem. There can also be weapons rights and other things. I got to be very careful with confidentiality, but the gist is I had someone in my office that became very complicated due to the age of the offenses. They were in their like mid 60s or so, and they got convicted of something uh, long time ago, back, let's say 19 years old or so. And it had never, ever, 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 ever been a problem. And that person, I don't want to say what they did, but it was something that was considered pretty prominent. And all of a sudden they were in a different state. And for whatever reason, everything finally hit their record again, 40 years or so later, 45, however many years later, it finally hit their record. And all of a sudden they started having letters and calls saying, number one, you might have a job problem, and number two, you need to turn in any weapons you might have. So that was a little bit of, I'm not saying a panic situation, but that person called and said, I don't know what's going on here. This has never been a problem. I have kids, I have a family, I'm getting close to retirement, and I've got my pension potentially at stake, and I've got all my weapons rights, etc. I know they had moved to, again, not talking politics, but they'd moved to a quote unquote more liberal or blue state from South Carolina. Whether that matters or not, I don't know. I don't know if it was a specific state law, but for whatever reason, that state was sending them letters telling them, hey, because of this prior conviction, you need to get this cleaned up. So again, some things pop up that way. I've even seen offenses in South Carolina pop up. Again, I saw something, I've seen things late 1970s pop up, and I'm talking like 2024, 2025. I've seen things pop up from the early 80s that'll just all of a sudden, I don't know if it's everything going more digital or what's happening or a backlog being cleared. I have no idea, but I've seen these things pop up and cause people a lot of problems. License suspensions, revocations, gun problems, ability to vote, all of a sudden just pop up out of the blue seemingly. So again, lots and lots of reasons. I'm sure there are a lot more reasons that, or you may have a different reason that's more personal, but those are some of the reasons why people want to seek to have these things expunged in my experience. So again, if I can help you, again, Dustin Lee at Lee Law Firm in Bluffton, South Carolina. The telephone number is 843-474-0614. And we also have our website. It's Leelaw, LEELAW.WS, like Walter Susan, or website. Thank you.